Coming up on OU Nightly, a cold front is passing through the state. How cold will it get, and will we see some rain?
And an Oklahoma congressman pushes for his spending bill as a government shutdown looms. Plus, how OU is celebrating first-generation students here on campus. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Snowforth.
And I'm Bailey Coyle. We begin tonight with a cold front heading our way.
And yeah, Bailey, those allergies are pretty high right now. So let's get over to our OU Nightly meteorologist, Drake Foley, who's in the studio with more on the cold front and allergy report. Drake?
Thanks, Snow and Bailey. Right now, we're looking at the cold front and current temperatures. Right now, you can see it's south of the metro, so all these temperatures in the 70s and 60s, very pleasant. But in the south portions of Oklahoma, we're still seeing those high 80s and those record highs that we saw today. And right now, looking at the allergy report, it is indeed very bad. Very high tree pollen blowing in from that cold front, as well as that weed and mold pollen being at a medium. Right now, we have OU Nightly meteorologist Josh Duncan outside giving us a report on the weather. How's it looking out there, Josh?
Yeah, Drake, we are just to the west of Bazell here on campus, and over the past few hours, the winds have switched from being out of the southwest to now out of the north and northwest, gusting up to 20 miles per hour at times, blowing around some of the tree pollen and dropping the temperatures. Take a look at the metro temperatures here. It's around 70 in Norman, but still upper 70s to low 80s in the southeast metro, and now 60s in the northwest. And over the next few hours, temperatures dropping through the 50s. Drake, back to you.
Yeah, so right now, coming up in Maine weather, we're going to talk more about that incoming cold front, those late night winds that are going to be blowing in from the cold front, and your game day forecast. Snow and Bailey, back to you.
Thank you, Drake. And it's a race against time as Congress faces another potential government shutdown. An Oklahoma congressman is a key figure in negotiating one of the largest spending bills in Congress, the Farm Bill. OU Nightly's Kevin Palomino has the details from our Washington bureau.
With the U.S. inching closer to a government shutdown on November 17th, Congress is running out of time to pass a farm bill before the end of the year. Now, Agriculture Committee Chair Glenn Thompson is looking to extend farm bill funding under the current budget. Oklahoma Representative Frank Lucas, a member of the Agricultural Committee, says a one-year extension isn't ideal, but it's necessary.
And the beautiful part about an extension is it gives certainty to producers. But when we get our work done, and the quicker we get it done, then it supersedes the extension.
An extension would give Republicans more time to negotiate farm bill conditions with Democrats. On the table are increased subsidies for certain crops, cuts on food aid and conservation efforts. With SNAP serving roughly 17% of Oklahomans, organizations are fighting against it.
So through the farm bill, we should be continuing to invest in those things. Many of those programs have fallen away or been cut back as we've wound down our pandemic era programs. And rather than cutting, we should be focusing on expanding.
For farmers, having a farm bill is crucial for their industry as they face increases on interest rates and costs.
A ton of different decisions that each operator has to make. And so knowing the lay of the land and what the ground rules are is a big part of that. And so people need certainty and stability.
Luckily, the Farm Bill typically brings bipartisan support.
Everybody realizes how important food is.
But with tensions between Democrats and Republicans on the rise, the question is whether the chambers can unify before the deadline.
I'm an optimist. Remember, I'm a wheat farmer. I put the seed in the ground on the assumption I'm going to make a crop every time.
Reporting for Gaylord News in Washington, D.C., I'm Kevin Palomino.
Thank you, Kevin. And traditionally, the Farm Bill is passed once every 5 years. Right now, it's set to expire in December.
Lindsay Street construction continues in several areas. The new press and plow will be open soon, and many existing businesses are glad to see more traffic on one of Norman's most popular streets. OU Nightly's Blake Mullen has those details.
With more businesses coming in like this Starbucks, Lindsay Street is only becoming more popular. But years ago, due to construction, it did not look like this. Today, businesses are returning to what was once Norman's most popular street. Lindsay Street is thriving more than ever. Faden Up owner Corey Sutter, aka Scissorhands, says with no more construction, it is no longer a hassle to go to his shop.
It helps a lot because due to the fact that they can get through now, because like I said, it was a hassle at one time. So sometimes you want to get up and get to where you want to go and leave and get to where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? So since it's opened up, it's a beautiful thing.
Many people have started opening new businesses on Lindsay, including Level 10 Nutrition owner Brianna Cochran, who says she wanted to be a part of the community.
Honestly, I've lived here for 5 years in Norman, and I just love the heart of Sooners and the atmosphere that's here, and we want to continue being here and being a part of the community. And I felt like, you hear about a lot of small businesses here, and I'm in all of the pages, and there's a lot of community with that, and I just wanted to be a part of it.
Hal Smith Restaurant, HTO, and many other chain businesses will be opening their doors here on Lindsay Street in the near future. From Lindsay Street, Blake Mullen, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Blake. Last month, the City Council approved $9 million to widen portions of Lindsay near campus. Construction is set to begin in 2027.
And thousands of people continue to flee war zone as violence intensifies in Gaza. Kennedy Patterson has that and the rest of today's national and international headlines from the News Center.
Thousands of Palestinians are now south of Gaza after the Israeli military opened a safe corridor for a limited time. Many of those leaving Gaza on foot waved white flags and government IDs for safety, with some carrying nothing except the clothes on their backs. Palestinians fleeing the area report that they don't have access to water or medical treatment. Election day results are in, and Democrats pull away with several key victories. In Ohio, voters upheld abortion rights. Now the state cannot restrict abortions before the 22 to 24-week mark unless a patient's health is at risk. Ohio also legalized recreational marijuana, making it the 24th state to do so. The House Oversight Committee subpoenas President Biden's son and brother, Hunter and James Biden. The subpoenas demand that the two appear for depositions in mid-December. This is all part of an impeachment inquiry into the president's alleged involvement in his son's business dealings. The committee plans to bring in other members of the Biden family and their associates for interviews. In Bailey, snow. Today, the U.S. returned giant pandas to China after their 50-year stay in D.C., leaving only 4 Chinese pandas in the U.S.
Thanks, Kennedy. 1 in every 4 students in OU's freshman class is a first-generation college student. The university is celebrating first generation today and honor those students. OU's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Division just wrapped up a free lunch with networking and storytelling for students, faculty, and staff to celebrate their achievements. As the university continues to support their first generation students, some say that OU could do more for their community.
I think we could use a little bit of work kind of like reaching out to students who are a little bit more shy or a little bit more intimidated throughout the whole process, and their parents as well. That's a really big thing, making sure that they know what the process is for us as well.
For first-generation students looking for guidance or ways to get involved, you can find more resources on OU's website.
And OU Athletics is giving back to the military community with a Military Appreciation Weekend. The Salute to Service Weekend will feature discounted tickets given to military members across 4 sports: football, volleyball, and men's and women's basketball.
Just taking the opportunity to showcase some of the stories behind a lot of our OU fans, students, professors, former professors that have served in our military, and showcase their stories while also showing our appreciation for military servicemen and women as a whole.
You can purchase tickets online at Soonersports.com for events from November 9th through the 12th.
And up next on OU Nightly, a large fire started after an explosion in a southern Texas chemical plant. We'll tell you what officials are saying.
And an earthquake rocks West Texas this morning. The aftermath of the quake coming up. Texas authorities are now watching the aftermath of a major chemical explosion in the state. OU Nightly's Christine Gormley has the details in Earth Report.
That's right. An explosion at a chemical plant triggered a large fire in Shepherd, Texas. At last check, authorities said the fire is contained and they are monitoring the air for potential chemicals. Residents nearby were asked to shelter in place and to turn off HVAC systems in homes and businesses due to the smoke. Officials are still investigating the effects of chemicals in the air. Also in Texas, the U.S. Geological Survey says a 5.3 magnitude earthquake shook the western side of the state. The quake struck near Loving County at about 4:30 a.m. local time today. Residents over 200 miles away in El Paso in New Mexico reported feeling the tremors. So far, there have been no reports of damage or injuries. In Australia, scientists say that coral on the Great Barrier Reef is beginning to regenerate. While some parts of the reef remain healthy, experts say other parts are bleaching and dying due to increased temperatures. Scientists are studying ways to boost the reef's growth and to keep its survival. A new report shows October was the warmest month on record. Experts say 2023 is on track to be the warmest year ever. Bailey, Snow.
Thanks, Christine. I would agree that this month is definitely a warm one.
Yeah, especially for November.
Yeah. Well, coming up on OU Nightly today, OU Dance Marathon is celebrating Day of Miracles.
When we return, see how students on campus are raising money for one of OU's biggest philanthropies.
Coming up after the break, how cold will it get after this cold front, and will we see some rain? Find out next. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Right now, taking a look at our campus cam, and the sun's already starting to set as daylight savings time has already hit. Right now, 73 degrees in Norman, but it is a little breezy with a west-northwest wind of 17 miles per hour. And looking at wind speeds across Oklahoma, 17 in Oklahoma City as well. And we're seeing those double digits all across the state as that cold front passes through. And that cold front also has dropped temperatures significantly. We're down 27 degrees in Woodward and 11 degrees in Norman. And as we look at the southeastern portions of the state and the southern portions of the state where that cold front still making its way through, not yet that cool, but those temperatures tomorrow, as we see that cold front's passing through now, 5 p.m., 73 degrees, and throughout the night, it's going to drop down, and by 5 a.m., 52 degrees before warming up into the 50s later out throughout the day. And those lows tonight, 34 in Guyman, they're nearing that freezing mark, and then we're looking at around the metro area 50s, nothing too bad. Out here down near Idabel in 60, the warmest temperature in the state, and those highs tomorrow in 50s all across. And we're looking at some rain though with those showers, and that's gonna make it a little miserable outside if it gets to the point where it gets that cold rain nobody really likes. But low chances really for the metro, but we're looking at a medium chance near Norman and south as those rain showers start to move. And looking at our future cast right now, we're looking at that rain start to come from the southwest during your morning commute tomorrow, especially if we work that 9 to 5, because that rain starts to move through. And then as you see, the heavier rain starts to sit around Norman around that 5 p.m. mark, so during showtime tomorrow. So make sure to keep in tune for OU Nightly looking at that. And that future precip right now, not too bad, only about a hundredth of an inch in Norman, but as you get farther south or even down to the southeast, it's going to be a little heavier of a rain. But this weekend, there's not going to be rain. The Sooners, Mountaineers under the lights, and kickoff 52 degrees before halftime 53 and postgame 51, and it's going to be just an enjoyable game. And talking about enjoyable, those are those temperatures we're seeing right now. Thursday, finally when that cold front passes through, 55, then Friday 59, Saturday again 59. Then you see that jump back to the 60s, 64 on Sunday, Monday as well 64. For Tuesday and Wednesday also are going down to 64. And I'm definitely ready for those temperatures and a new game day outfit for this weekend as we're finally seeing those cool temperatures. I know I'm really looking forward to that hoodie and jersey combo I've been saving up in the closet all this time because now we're finally seeing those 50s. I might even throw in a beanie. What are you guys looking forward to wearing?
Well, you know, football games are my fashion show, but When it comes to my warmth, I'm just gonna be bundled up. I think my fashion show's over now.
I know I was running out of outfits for those hot games, so I'm really excited to bring out like a whole new section of my closet. And you know, it was a beautiful day to help others. OU Dance Marathon kicked off their Day of Miracles this morning. OU Dance Marathon is one of the biggest philanthropies on campus, and they donate to Children's Hospital in OKC. Today, volunteers gather to meet their goals of helping others.
It's our biggest fundraising day of the year. Our goal is to raise $50,000 in 24 hours. And it's kind of like an internal push day, so just kind of exec is raising money and we reach out to everyone. And today we're kind of focusing on getting everyone to know more about like our Miracle Kids.
The organization has 3 benefits tonight, one at the Tower, one at Canes, and one at Baked Bear, all on Campus Corner. To help donate to this organization, visit the Dance Marathon website.
Man, so you can get your drink, dinner, and dessert all in one.
Sounds like a great meal to me.
Yeah, and today is National Signing Day for several sports.
OU Nightly's Abby Williams has the Sooner squads that are scoring up big coming up next in sports.
That's right, and after a rough ride in Stillwater, Oklahoma football prepares for the Mountaineers to come into town. I'll have how the team is moving on up next. I'm Abby Williams, and it's time for sports. Saturday's loss likely eliminated Oklahoma football from playoff contention. Now Brent Venables and his squad are focused on what is going right for the Sooners.
We're on to West Virginia. They've done a pretty good job. You know, I think they've got a great body of work. You know, you look at it offensively, they're still number 1 in the conference in scoring. That is the name of the game there. And first in the conference in total yards, first in the conference in passing. They've obviously made a lot of good decisions.
OU running back Gavin Sawchuk's role on this Sooner offense is growing, along with his carries. Here's what he had to say on the Sooners' offensive struggles.
Everything starts at the O-line, starting the trenches. You know, gotta come out here on the practice fields, get a work in, make sure we're studying film, knowing what they're gonna, being prepared for what they're gonna bring. But also out there on the field, just competing, winning your one-on-one battles. That's what it comes down to. I mean, you can be as ready as you want, but you have to actually do it out there on the field. So just executing, we got to be ready to execute when the time comes.
The best team in the nation just got better. Patty Gasso's softball dynasty looks to continue their domination on the diamond after an impressive signing day for the class of 2024 commits. The Sooners signed 8 players today and have more players in extra inning softball's top 100 than any other school in the nation. And the 3-peat College World Series champions take to the diamond at 6 tomorrow. Tomorrow's scrimmages wrap up their fall season, where team MVPs and an individual champion will be crowned at the end. OU men's golf teed off National Signing Day with some big swings. The Sooners signed the #1 ranked golfers in both Minnesota and Kansas, alongside Andrew Ramos, who at one point rose as high as the #1 player in the class, according to Golf Week. While women's basketball star Skylar Vann wraps up her time playing for the Sooners, her sister Zaya is ready to carry on the Vann legacy. The Oklahoma native and 2-time state champion signed to play for OU starting next season. Skylar and Zaya's dad Bryant also played for the Sooners during the 1992 and 93 seasons. The Cleveland Cavaliers are in for a battle tonight as they come to Oklahoma City to take on the Thunder at 7. The Cavs seek revenge after a 108-105 loss to OKC earlier this season. Snow, Bailey.
Thank you, Abby. It should be a good game. And listen to this, Mattel just released the newest Barbie, and it's honoring an Oklahoma tribal leader.
So stay with us and we'll tell you all about this new doll.
I'm Savannah Simmons at the OU Nightly Update Desk. The Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board recommends clemency for a death row inmate set to die this month. Philip Hancock was found guilty for killing 2 men in 2001. Hancock has insisted that it was self-defense. Governor Kevin Stitt will now have to decide on granting clemency. Hancock's execution date is November 30th. Bailey, Snow, back to you in the studio.
Thank you for keeping us updated, Savannah. But the newest Barbie in Barbie World is in honor of the Cherokee Nation's first female principal chief, Wilma Mankiller.
The doll is honoring her work for improving health care and housing for the Cherokee Nation.
According to Mattel's Instagram, a special event to celebrate the Barbie's release will be in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. Maybe we should head over.
100%.
But let's head over to Drake for one last look at the weather.
Now, Drake, that cold front has already made its way through Oklahoma. How are those temperatures looking?
Yeah, right now those temperatures have dropped. You see this dark blue, that's where those temperatures have dropped rapidly. We still see some areas that haven't gotten to that dropping yet, but they're going to be there as that cold front continues to pass through. Looking at our temperatures for the next couple days, looking at those 60s, it's going to be really nice, and we're looking at our next week being awesome.
Thank you, Drake, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Snowforth.
And I'm Bailey Coyle. Be sure to tune in to OU Nightly weekdays live at 4:30. Good night.